Hey everybody, glad to have you on our show today. Appreciate you being with us. We're going to be talking about really cool subject, talking about do you have squirrel thinking? You know, that squirrel over there. Oh, no, it's that over there. Oh, no, wait, where is it? Okay, so I think everybody has those moments. So glad to have you on our show today. My name's Dean Renfro. Appreciate you being a part of it. Be sure to click on notifications, follow along when you know we are live and you can watch with us. You can also type in the comments section underneath this video and I can see your responses and answer any questions or participate with you in any comments that you might have. You can also give us a thumbs up or heart or smiley face, or if you have to, a frown face. We get that too. Sometimes we get those. But hey, thanks for being with us today. I hope you have had a great weekend. Appreciate you being a part of today's show for sure. And just glad to have people aboard here with us today. Hey, Marty and Loopy and Lynn, glad to have you on the show today. Appreciate you being here. We're going to give folks a few minutes to be a part, join us in the show. So what's the big thing going down for everybody right now? You know, what are you thinking about what's happening in our culture here in the U.S.? I don't know if you voted yet or not. We're going to be voting tomorrow. And finally worked out our time, let the lines die down a little bit, but we're going to be putting our vote out there tomorrow. And you can probably tell from the color shirt that I have on how I'm going to be voting. But hey, most important thing is you go vote, and that's real important to I think what happens in our world today. So appreciate you being here. You got a comment or a question you'd like to put in there, be sure to type it in. If you catch us on the replay, you can also type in the comment section. We will answer you in the process as well. But appreciate you being here because today, you know, our subject is, do you have squirrel thinking? Do you have squirrel thinking? You know, you might be thinking, what are you talking about? Well, it kind of looks like this. You know, that's kind of what, the reality is for many of us, is that we live in a distracted world, right? I mean, there are things going on everywhere. Voting machines are rigged, this is happening, that's happening, this WikiLeaks, that WikiLeaks, the dog ate this, the plumbing broke, I heard rumors that the company's going to go down. I heard rumors that the company's selling. There people at the church said this, and people at the church didn't show up. And there's all kinds of things going on in people's lives. Everybody has a distraction happening, right? Have you noticed that people just live in a total distracted world? And it's kind of like there's a squirrel, there's a squirrel, there's a squirrel. And we don't know what to do with all that. We kind of gets us, sometimes it gets us bummed out. Sometimes it just keeps us like pulling all our hair out. There's a lot of different kind of things that happen with us. So we're going to be talking about that today when we talk about, do you have squirrel? Yeah, and I have those too, Marty. There's some right outside the window. Every once in a while when me and my wife are having coffee in the morning talking, I can tell she's kind of like, and I go, what is it? She said, there's a squirrel going across the fence and he nearly fell off. Ha ha ha. Kind of thing. So yeah, squirrels are everywhere. Even literally, they distract us in our world. So let's talk about that today. Let's take a look at squirrels today in our world. I don't know, maybe you might want to share one of your squirrels that oftentimes come along, because we have to fix it. We have to figure out how to fix squirrel thinking because it's just everywhere. It makes life difficult for us. So how do you get away from the squirrel thinking? Hey, Dave Hobley, there's our West Coast contingency joining in our show today, and one of our veterans. Appreciate his service to our country. And what do you do when you don't have focused thinking? When all your thinking's like squirrels, you can't stay focused. Well, part of it is, we're going to talk about that today, is how do you get back focused? How do you get focused thinking, right? Focused thinking. So let's take a look at that. First of all, he's a patriot. Exactly right. You have to harness your energy. You have to learn how to harness your energy to get focused thinking. In other words, you have to kind of reach down inside yourself and say, okay, I'm gonna focus on some things. I'm gonna make some things priority. But when you have focused thinking, it harnesses your energy. It lets you go in a certain direction. It's like hooking up a team of horses to a wagon. You harness your energy and you go in a certain direction, right? Because it's very easy for people to pull you off to the side, to take you this way. Matter of fact, I almost didn't get to the show on time today because somebody called me from a LinkedIn lead, and I was trying to deal with them and not get distracted. Because I'm thinking, okay, I'm fixing to have a show on being distracted, and I'm distracted right now. And this guy is pulling my energy another direction. He's pulling my energy another direction. Hey, Linda Burton, glad to have you with us today on the show. So, focused thinking helps you harness your energy in a direction that you want to go, so that it's not scattered. It's not over there, and then it's over there, and up there, or down there. It helps you harness it like a team of horses pulling a wagon. It helps you harness it. And then the next thing that focused thinking does for you, we'll get away from the squirrel thinking. Focused energy helps give ideas time to evolve. That is, when you're thinking about something, when you're trying to solve a problem, when you're trying to work on a relationship, when you're trying to think through some elements, even develop a strategy, focused thinking gives time for things to evolve. Okay, it gives time for things to evolve. Rather than I'm here right now with my thinking, and now I'm over there, and now I'm over there. It kind of gives things time to evolve. So it harnesses your energy like a team of horses pulling a wagon. It gives you time for things to evolve in the process. In other words, you can dwell on it longer and work through it longer because you're not distracted, right? You're not distracted. And then it also helps bring clarity as to what you're really thinking about. When you can have focused thinking, it will bring clarity to what you're thinking about, the target of what you're thinking about. Why am I thinking? Have you ever said to yourself going, now what was I thinking about? It's kind of like, well, what was I saying? Well, then, that is an obvious sign that you have squirrel thinking going on. That there's all this noise happening, right? Hey, Ronnie Reyes, glad to have you on the show today. Appreciate you being here. Out from Las Vegas, Nevada, Ronnie Reyes. Appreciate you being here. Hey, here's what you have to think about. You have to use focused thinking to bring about clarity to what you're really trying to think about. And so that's the power of focused thinking. Another thing is, focused thinking will take you to the next level of thinking. You see, that's what oftentimes happens in our thinking is we got all this squirrel thinking going on. We're over here, we're over there, we're up there, we're down there, we're on this, we're on that, we're watching this, we're doing three things at one time, and we never really able to get the best idea. We're really never able to get the right words. We're really never able to bring clarity about the conversation that we're having with someone in a relationship. Or we really never get to the prime concept of what we really are trying to do because we're distracted. So focused thinking can help us harness our energy like a team of horses pulling a wagon, give our ideas time to evolve because we've thought about them long enough that we're not saying, now what was it I was thinking about? Oh man, that was a great idea. No. Focused thinking helps you keep those ideas in check. It also brings clarity. It gets really clear about what you're thinking is about, okay? And you see things and hear things and experience things that you've never have before because there's clarity. You're more aware. You're more aware. And then number 3, it'll take you to the next level. 4, it'll take you to the next level. Focused thinking will take you to the next level of thinking, okay? Because we never get there because of all the distractions, all the squirrels running around in our life, right? So, where do you focus your thinking? Okay, and when you're going to spend time, focus time thinking, where do you focus your thinking, right? Well, first of all, you can focus your thinking about identifying your priorities. Okay, identifying your priorities. All right, and that becomes an important component of thinking. Okay, what are my priorities? What really am I really trying to get done? Who am I really trying to connect to? What am I really trying to say? What am I really listening for? What am I really looking for? And what are they? And what's the priorities? Because we all know that there's this constant concept in our world of distractions that never let us get to the priorities. I'm amazed by people who get so many things started, or they spend money on this, or they spend money on that, or they go to this, they go to that, they learn this, they learn that, but they never get started with it because they never really get it honed down as a priority because their thinking is not focused. Right, their thinking is not focused. So part of that concept, of course, comes into play is you can use the 80-20 rule for you to focus in and identify your priorities. That you're going to spend 80% of your time and energy working on 20% of what you want to do. In other words, so you can get it honed down. Most of us spend 20% of our time on 80 different things. Okay, and we wonder why we can't get anywhere with what we're doing. You know, it's somebody has well said, you know, we got to make the main thing the main thing. Okay, and we never quite get to that priority. We never quite get to that priority. So identify, when you spend time focused thinking, identify your priorities. What am I going to think about first? What am I going to think about first? Well, when you understand priorities, you're going to think about the thing that's going to get you the most return on your idea, the most return on your conversation, the most return on the use of your time. Yeah, my new priority will be to prioritize. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes that's exactly what you have to do, Marty. You have to decide. You have to, and I tell people this all the time when I ask people, well, what kind of plans are you having? And they'll talk about it a little bit, and I say, well, you plan to plan the plan. And they look at me and they're like, what? I said, right. Have you planned to plan the plan? In other words, have you made a plan to go off somewhere to work on the plan so when you come out of that time of focused thinking that you have a plan? And then it's like, that's the problem. I haven't done that. Exactly, that's the problem. You haven't done that. And therefore your planning is in bits and pieces and it's never prioritized. So you have to identify your priorities. Then you have to discover your giftedness about these things, okay? Now, it comes back around to, look, nobody's good at everything, okay? Usually we're good at one or two things. We got the gift and the talents, and then we go get some education, and most of us, we wind up in life because of jobs and things in life and all the things going on around us, we wind up being my dad used to say, a jack of all trades, a master of none. A jack of all trades, a master of none. Meaning you could do a lot of things kind of fairly well, but you never really could do one thing really, 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 really well. Well, you know, people like for us to be a jack of all trades. You know, if you go to work and you work on a job and you can do several things well, your boss will let you do that. They won't pay you any more money, but they'll let you do that. But if you become a specialist, an expert, the authority, you can demand more money, right? You can. Yeah. Now here's my brother chiming in. You ought to do this at the beginning of every October, and and that's cool. Here in October, the first day of October in Texas is the beginning of squirrel season, and then we can go annually thin them out. Thank you very much for the humor in today's live cast today from my brother. That's right. Go squirrel hunting. And you know what? There's a great analogy there. We should go squirrel hunting in our life and get rid of the squirrels, right? So hey, Angela, glad to have you on the show. If you discover your giftedness, in other words, find out what you're really, really good at, and there focus your thinking. In other words, a lot of people, they go, well, I need to build up this area over here where I'm not too good. No, get somebody else that's good to do what you're not good at. Focus on what you're really good at. Okay? And focus your thinking on that. How can I be better at this thing I'm already good at? How can I really be the best at what I'm already good at and get better and better and better and better at that? And you become someone who becomes inexpendable in the process of this person knows. And we have a word for that. They're the expert. They're the authority. They're the go-to person about that. See, when that happens, you will have the answers for people. You will be able to direct people. You will be able to solve people's problems. Because look, let's just face it, folks. Everybody in life is looking for a solution to their problem. The problem is that for many people, we're a jack of all trades and we got some kind of answers for their problem and maybe some answers for their problem, but there's some people around us that have the answer. You know how come they have the answer? They focused their thinking and they're the expert. And of course, you're not going to like what they charge you to focus, because you focused your thinking. You're not going to like what they charge you because they're going to charge you high dollar for that. They're going to charge you high dollar for that. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off. That's what you're going to find. Okay, so discover your giftedness. You can do that by taking a profile like the DISC profile, and I'll give you a link later on in that you can go take it, put my name by it, and it will help you work through that. There's various different, there's strength finders. You can go find out where your strengths are in Strength Finders 2.0. That's a great profile helper. Personally, we use one in leadership in the John Maxwell team that helps you develop where you're at as a leader and how you can get to to this next level and the next level and the next level with a strategy. We teach that as well. So discover your giftedness. Develop your dream. Okay, and when you're going to be thinking, develop your dream. Hey, Justine, glad to have you. There's my Hawaii contingency. There's my Hawaii contingency. Glad to have Justine with us. So if you catch this late on the show and you hadn't followed along, just be sure to click on that on notifications up there, or you can type in the comment box. Let me know you're here. If you have a question or a comment, like my brother just did, that was my squirrel hunting. That was my thinking, squirrel hunting in our mental life. Kill all the squirrels. I got you. I got it. I'm trying to stay focused and have a show. Okay? All right, so you wanna if you're gonna spend your time thinking, focus on developing your dream, not somebody else's dream. A large majority of people in the world, especially here in America, spend most of their life building somebody else's dream for them, not building their own dream. Well, that takes focused thinking to develop your dream. We have a resource for that here at the John Maxwell team, and that is a book that John put together about building out your dream and creating a dream map. Making a dream map. See, there she is from Hawaii today. It's fairly early there in the morning, so Justine's up early, living life, getting the day started, and it's early in Hawaii there today. I'm glad she joined us from the great state of Hawaii. So you develop your dream in your thinking. You spend time developing your dream. You develop a dream map for yourself, okay? So that's where you spend some of your focused thinking. So then the question comes, then how do you stay focused? Well, my brother suggested that you go hunting for the squirrels and get rid of the squirrels. Well, reality is that's more than you realize how true that is. Hey, yes, thank you for the encouragement. Mrs. AKE, I got to figure out how do you say your name. Melahani? Is that Indian? Mulaney? Is that how you say it? Miss Qualls, I can pronounce that part. First of all, when you stay focused, you do exactly what my brother said. You have to go hunting and get rid of the squirrels. right? You got to go hunting and get rid of the squirrels. You have to learn to deal with the distractions. Sounds like Melanie. I got you. Okay, I got Melanie. Just a different way to spell it. I got you. Okay, good deal. Thank you, Melanie, for helping me with that. I have become more efficient in pronouncing other people's names. Melanie. Okay, so you have to deal with distractions, right? You have to figure out, are you distracted because you're not getting enough rest? Are you distracted because you're not eating right? Are you distracted because your surroundings that you try to think in are distracting? Okay. Are you distracted because your calendar's too full? You know, are you distracted because you got too many friends on Facebook? You know, or whatever. What are your distractions? And you have to get rid of them. You have to deal with them. You have to deal with them, right? You have to deal with them. Well, there's a great book out there by Stephen Covey called First Things First. And you have to go out and determine what are the first things. What's the main thing that's going to be the main thing? The main thing that's going to be the main thing. And go to work on that. Go to work on that. Deal with distractions. So you start with the priorities. Remember, we talked about your priorities. And you take your gifts and your talents and your energy and your time, and you work on that first. I love what one of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, says. You know, is that in life, he said, if you're in business to make money, the first things you do every day is make money. Spend your time on the money-making activities first. Whatever that might look like. You spend your activity and your time and energy on the money-making part first. Okay? So you have to decide what are the first things that are going to be first. Right? Yes, you're right, Justine. Cold calling takes that kind of mindset. I got to do this first because it's hard, because nobody likes to be told, no, don't call me back. Or what? Who are you? And what do you want? And why are you calling me? And no, I don't want to buy any of that. And you know, we get tired of that. We get tired of that. And so you gotta have a grip inside your life to say, I'm doing this anyway. It's first because it's money making activity. Right? Or if you're in ministry, you got to do ministry activities first. Or you know, if you're a mom, you got to do mom activities first. You know, if that's your priority, that's what you have to do. In my case, you know, I work on my show first every day. Today I'm working on tomorrow's show. So then in the morning when I get up, I can refresh the show and I can do the show at lunch, and it's focused because that's something I focus on. Okay, and making connections. You know, and allowing time for those connections to happen. Like Justine said, you know, so I got to spend some time cold calling businesses to say, hey, are you interested in having somebody to come speak to your team or your company or to you and help you work through? You know, you just got to do those things first. All right? Then you have to make time. Remember I talked about, have you planned to plan the plan? You have to stay focused, you have to have a plan that you're working on. Yeah, listen to motivational videos, pray to prepare, to get focused, to get your mind wrapped around what you're going to kind of do. So you have to stay focused. You got to make time to stay focused. I think that's what happens to a lot of people is our life gets so crowded, so full of voices, right? So full of people. You know, sometimes in our life there's people that just crowd out our ability to stay focused. There's so many things going on, right? You know, there's the political thing, and there's the financial thing, and there's the social thing, and there's the relationship thing, and there's the business thing, and there's the spiritual thing, and you know, it's all this stuff is just that's how we think. That's what happens to us. So we have to take time, and just like Justine said, you got to find this place and time to have a focused time. Now, how do you know, what are some things to do that? Well, one of the things that I learned from Dan Kennedy, how Dan Kennedy says he does it, is he creates blocks of time. So Some people have different ways of managing your time, and dealing with your time. But time management is really about managing yourself. Everybody's got 24 hours in a day, right? I mean, you can't get more, you can't get less. It's 24 hours a day. So Dan talks about managing it in blocks. So it's kind of like, okay, today I'm going to work on tomorrow's show from this time to this time, and I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep working until I have it all done right now. So I'm starting at 8 in the morning and I'm working through till I get it done. Okay, till I get it done. So, I found a great tool for that, and it's a cheap kitchen timer. So I set it for like 55 minutes and I go to work. And when it goes off, I get up, I take a mental break, go to the bathroom, get something to drink. I come back, turn it on 55 minutes, and go again until I finish what I'm trying to get accomplished. So if it's making phone calls, or it's working on PowerPoints, or it's working on a show, or it's talking to clients, that's what I do. That's how I do. So you make blocks of time, and you use a timer. But you got to figure out what works for you. Yeah, focus. Follow one course until success. Exactly. See there? I'll tell you what, Justine is a great gal. She gets it. She gets it. Okay? All right, so let's talk about how else do you stay focused. You have visual cues. Okay, you have visual cues. You may have a goal map. You may have a picture. You may have things around in your office. You may have use visual cues to remind you. That's why I use the timer. People go, oh, you can just do that on your phone. No, when I set the timer up, it's sitting up. It's sitting there. Now I don't watch it, but it's a reminder to me. I gotta stay focused on this. And so you find visual cues to help you stay focused. All right. So sometimes you need to go places where you're not distracted. Okay. And, some people do that. They put on music and that kind of thing, and other people they can't. They have to have total silence, so they have to be in a soundproof room. But you got to find out what your cues are to make that happen in your mind, to make that happen for you, so you can be focused. Have the visual cues. So I use a whiteboard. If I could show you the whiteboard over there, and I just get up there and I write things out on the whiteboard. I do that so that when an idea comes to me, I wrote it down, and then I can leave it there. Okay, and of course many of you know, I use the 3x5 card thing, carry them with me all the time, so that if I'm somewhere else, sorry I dropped my microphone. If I'm somewhere else and I see something, or I run into a resource, or I have an idea, I write it down on my 3x5 card, because then I can, when I get to my thinking time, my focus time, I can pull this out and it's already there. It's already there. Hey, Peggy Morris, glad to have you with us today. I have it there, and it's there. And so I'll write it on the whiteboard, put it on my 3x5 card, but that way I don't have to keep trying to go, now what was I thinking about a minute ago? What was that brilliant idea I had? I don't know if you're like me. I don't know. It may have something to do with turning 60. I don't know. But, I just know that when you have those moments, you write them down. I know the great thinkers and the great entrepreneurs keep a tablet by their bed with a pen, and if they have an idea in the middle of the night, they get up and they write it down, because by the morning time you often will have forgotten it, because your brain is so active when you sleep. So active when you sleep. So you got to have visual cues, whatever that might be, to help you keep moving on your focus of what you're focusing on, whether it's your priorities, or whether it's us talking about developing your skills and your talents and your resources, or working on a project for your job. You got to have these visual cues. All right. So what else? How do you stay focused? Set objectives. Now some people call them goals, but I call them objectives, because it's still the kind of the same formula of a goal. You put it. You use a SMART goal. It's specific. It's measurable. And all the acronyms connected to the SMART word, you have that going on, okay? But you set an objective with your focus, okay? And you work just on that as Justine's already said, follow one course until success. Work on one thing till you get it hammered out. That's how you stay focused. That's how you get the most. Because here's the thing. When I plan a whole show, a series of shows for the week, I do that, and then it's done. I don't have to wake up in the morning and go, now what am I going to talk about today? Wonder where I find resources for that today. See, you get, I mean, once it's done, it is like liberating. Liberating. And I'm free. You know, I do the same thing in my preaching. You know, I might plan out a whole year's worth of preaching. Now, it doesn't mean that I won't change something. Something happens, or if I get a thought or an idea, or I read something that might redirect that. But I got the ball. I'm in the ballpark of where I'm going for the whole series of what I'm going to do. Okay, and so you get objectives in your thinking. That helps you stay focused. Okay, here's the three questions you want to come out of your objective thinking. Number one, is it clear what I'm trying to think about? Okay, is it clear what I'm trying to think about? Is it close? What I mean is it in the proximity of what I'm trying to accomplish? Okay, and then for me personally, is it helpful to other people? Is it helpful to other people? Is it going to help me? Is it going to help somebody else? You know, is it going to help them spiritually? Is it going to help them mentally? Is it going to help them emotionally? Is it going to help them relationally? Is it going to help them spiritually? Is it going to help them? Okay, and so that becomes a kind of the parameters of the objective. Okay, all right. So appreciate everybody's input here today. Great input. Thanks for being on the show. I realize that, you know, people have different lunch hours. They may have to get on and off and all that kind of thing. But be sure to catch the replay. Another big thing that you can do, if this is helpful to you, it's probably helpful to somebody else. Probably somebody else just like you, one of your friends. You can share this video. Just look down at the bottom down there. It says share. Just click share. Okay, it'll go off for just a second. It'll come right back. It's not going anywhere. And you can share this with people out there. And they can be a part of this learning as well. That's why we do what we do. And then how do you stay focused? Question your progress. That is, have some kind of measurement of what you're doing. Okay, and so that's why I like to oftentimes use numbers in what I'm talking about. So, okay, I'm going to develop 3 critical ideas about how to stay focused. Okay, and I can look and go, okay, I got an idea down, number 1 down pretty good. Number 2's coming. I don't know about number 3. Or I could just quit. You know, and go, okay, I got 2, that's good. Well, maybe that's enough. But you got to have things to question your progress. How's this coming along? Thank you, Larry, for sharing that. I appreciate it. See, I know when you share it because it tells me. Okay, it tells me. So you question your progress. You have to have a scale to measure it, right? And get accountability partners in the process. Now, some of you know this. I think probably everybody on this probably deep down inside knows this, that everybody needs a team, right? Together, everybody accomplishes more. All of us are smarter than any one of us. Okay, all that, you know, concept and idea. And you need accountability partners. One of those accountability partners, of course, is somebody who believes in it like you believe in it. In other words, who wants you to be successful. You need people to support you. That's an accountability partner. You need an accountability partner to coach you through the process. In other words, somebody who's here's our objective, and it's right here in our face, and that's all we can see, but we need somebody over here, a coach, that can see things we can't see. Okay? Everybody needs those. Okay? That's part of what I do. Is I'm the person standing over here saying to people, well, okay, great objective, you're working on it. What about? Have you thought about how's it coming? Where's it going? What are you answering the question that's going on in the minds of the people you want to talk to? Is it helpful? You know, have you brought it in close to these people? Is it personal to them? Is it a relationship that they do? Because people don't care how much you know. People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. People don't buy, whether you're selling a physical product or a digital product or a mental product or a relationship product. You know what? They don't buy if they're confused. So you gotta bring them in close. We've talked about that, right? We've talked about that. And then it's got to be clear. It's got to be clear in your mind, and it has to become obviously clear in their mind. Okay? obviously clear in their mind. We see that going on in the election right now. I mean, there's so much clouded stuff going on, and people are hollering this and they're hollering that, and people are showing this and knowing that, and everybody's just kind of throwing their hands up in there and going, well, I don't know who to vote for, okay? You know, I don't know what to do about that. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. I don't know who's lying, who's telling the truth. I don't know. What does that lead people to do? Not do anything, right? The same thing is true in anything you're trying to do. You have to have these accountability partners. So you need somebody that loves it like you love it, right? You need somebody that's on the outside looking in. Most of us need a mentor to walk through it with us a long way down the road, okay? A mentor to walk with us all the way down the road. And then most of us need someone to help us ramp up our idea to the next level by educating and training us to be really good at what we're doing. That is the expert creator, okay? The expert creator. So we help people do that. That's part of what I'm doing, and that's what you're on this show for. You're learning some of those exact same things. So here's some big questions for us today. For you to be able to do this, for you to be able to focus, for you to be able to hone it all in, what are you going to have to give up to go up? What are you going to have to give up to go up? Here's 4 things I think you have to deal with. Number 1, I can't know everybody. Okay, there's some people that I got to cut out of my life if I'm going to go to the next level. People that are negative. People that don't want to play ball with me. You know, people that are trying to obstruct what I'm doing. Okay, those kind of people, okay, got to go. I can't know everybody, so let those kind of people go. Okay, I can't know everybody. Some of us, we thrive on that. Our personality is, oh, I just have to be connected to these people. You know, some of us need to know somebody. Okay, some of us, you know, we need to get out of the office and go meet somebody, right? We need to know some people, but sometimes you have to give up relationships. Second, you can't do everything, right? Yeah, absolutely negative people, Justine. Exactly. I can't do everything. Okay, a lot of people, you know, they get caught in this mentality of, well, if it's going to get done right, I got to do it. Bad thinking. Bad thinking. Okay? Or if it's going to be, it's up to me. You know, and same kind of thinking. But you realize I can't do everything. It takes too much time, energy, resource, and money to learn how to do everything you want to do. Right? It just does. So realize, to go up, you're going to have to give up something. And the higher you go, the more you got to give up doing everything. So the more you want to be an expert in what you're doing, the more of the other stuff you got to give up. Right? You just have to give that up. Okay? In other words, you can't be the computer technician and the database entry person and the video maker and the script writer and the book writer and the coach and the salesperson and the people person and the presenter and the trainer and you know, you can't do all those things. You have to realize, to go up, I got to give up something. I can't do everything. Number 4, I can't go everywhere. Just because somebody wants to connect to you, because somebody wants you to come, just because somebody wants you to be a part, doesn't mean you have to be a part. Okay? You probably already have heard this and learned this, that one of the biggest troubles that most of us have is we can't say a 2-letter word. Most people struggle with that. And you know what the word is, right? Somebody type that in the chat box while I get a drink. Most of us know that word, and it's the word no. Most of us can't say no. Right, exactly. Justine knows that word. You can't go everywhere. You can't know everybody. You can't do everything. And you can't be well-rounded. Somewhere in life we tried to reward people who are what we call well-rounded. That is, they know a little bit about everything. The problem is, most of those people are broke. Most of those people are everybody's friends, and nobody knows them. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? If you want to be known and you want to be the leader, you got to be one of those people that is honed in on what you're about. Okay, and you're an expert, you're an authority, you're the person, you're the go-to. I mean, when they think of this, it goes, your name goes straight to the top of their mind. They go, oh yeah, I know the person for that. Instead of thinking, well, I don't know, I mean, there's quite a few people that could do this. Yeah, there's a bunch of people out there that know about this. Instead of, no, I know the person. I know the person. Here's their name. Okay, here's their name. So you see when you realize, sorry about that, I forgot to turn the phone off again. It rang. Somebody's trying to call me here in the middle of my show. I guess I'm going to have to start a call-in show. Oh, Squirrel. Be well-rounded. You can't be well-rounded. You've got to get focused on something and go after that. You'll make more money. You'll have more connections because of that. You will have a sense of inner peace that I know what I know that I know that I know, right? That's the process that you'll learn about that. All right, so let's talk about the sponsor of our show today, of course, is the John Maxwell team. We're running a mastermind on the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And yes, you can do it because I'm going to do it virtually. You can join me right here online. I'm going to be using a conference room that holds 8 people, so it'll be a group of me and 7 others, and I'll do as many as I need to do. But you can do that. You can be a part of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It is the flagship work of John Maxwell. It's in 47 different languages. It has sold millions and millions of copies, and it is one of the best fundamental books that you need to know these 21 laws, because either these laws are going to help you go up, or these laws are going to push on you and crush you and keep you frustrated when you break them. So you need the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. You can join me in a mastermind here right here on Facebook, facebookgroup.com. There is the address right there that you can go and request to join and be a part of this mastermind. Now, here's 2 things you have to have. It doesn't cost anything. I'm doing it for free. Okay, I'm doing it for free to give you an opportunity to learn what we do in the John Maxwell group, and how we help businesses and individuals and churches and organizations become the best they can be by helping them develop the leadership skills and the team skills and the organizational skills they need to go to the next level. Okay, but you can go here to this group at facebook.com. I'll put it in the chat when we're finished, and it'll be in the title of the video after it's over. And you can go there and request to join, be a part. You have to get the book. Okay, you have to have the book. So if you don't have the book, go get the book if you're going to be a part. You can order on Amazon.com. I'll put a link in the group where you can go buy from Amazon, be delivered right to your door. You can get it at Barnes and Nobles. You may already have it. That's great. You can get it in digital form or PDF. The big deal is you need the book, because you're going to need to read along and move along. But we're not just going to read the book. It's not a book club. Okay, it's not a book club. It's a mastermind where all our minds come together as we talk about some things, and we're going to grow up. We're going to grow bigger. We're going to grow more. We're going to get more focused. We're going to get more done. We're going to accomplish more than we thought, because all of us are smarter than any one of us. And when we all get together in our thinking and we have a dialogue, we create a mastermind. Okay, we create a mastermind that we learn, think, discover something that we never had thought about before. If you've ever been in a mastermind, you know how this works, and you probably experienced it and can say, yes, yes, it works, because here's what it does for you. Okay, so you're invited to be a part of my virtual mastermind, and you can go to this group and join the group, and I appreciate it that you come be a part of that. That's cool. But again, we're glad to have you today. If you got a question, we'd love to answer it. We've got a few minutes here that you can ask a question, make a comment. Thanks to all of you who joined in today. Appreciate you being a part of today's show, and glad to have you on the show. Appreciate all of you who commented. Justine out there in Hawaii shared some great stuff on here today, so you need to be sure and go back and read the notes of this live cast. Also, you can share this. You can share this anytime. You can go back and share it. I'd encourage you to share it to your messenger so you can share it again so you don't lose it, okay? So you don't lose it, but it's always on my profile page. There's also, it's found several places on my Leadership Multiplies Network page and group. You can find it there as well, because one thing I believe that if you're a leader, it will multiply. Leadership multiplies. It cannot help itself but multiply. Whether it's in the classroom or in the family or in business or in the community or in politics or in spiritual matters, leadership multiplies. It multiplies. All right? Appreciate you being with us today. Anybody got a question or comment they want to make before we get out of here? I got one last thing for you before we go, okay? One last thing before we go. I want you to hear from our founder, John Maxwell.
Today's word is urgency. April Burns from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who's the Vice President of Operations, wanted me to talk about it. My good friend John Cotter recently wrote a book on urgency, and I can remember when he was working on the manuscript, he called me and shot it to me, and I read it. When the book came out, I bought it. And as I read it, it really helped me. It helped me to understand that some of the most important things in life are only accomplished if we have a sense of urgency. So let me describe quickly two people. The first person, they don't create within themselves a sense of urgency, and so they wait for life to become urgent. And then they rush and try to make up for lost time, and in a panic often fall short of their achieved goals. And then there's the person who says, no, I must create a sense of urgency within myself. I must be the person who motivates myself and makes sure that I accomplish what I want to accomplish today, because it's the only time I have. And those are the people who never have outward circumstances of urgency that are so compelling it defeats them. Why? Because they understand either urgency comes from the outside and comes to you, which makes you a victim, or it starts within you and then it goes to the outside, which usually makes you and me a victor.
All right, so hey, appreciate you being with us today, and we're going to kind of roll out of here unless you got another question. Appreciate all your great comments that you gave, and thank you for liking the show. Again, the best thing you can do for liking my show is share it with other people and give opportunity to be a part of the Mastermind. Again, I want to encourage you to do that. So we're going to leave that on the screen here for just a couple of minutes, or for just a few seconds. And in case you didn't get that, if you look around, it'll also be in the comment section here as well as at the title of the video. So appreciate you being a part with us today. So let me roll out of here. Thanks for being with us.